Hello, friends, and good brunch noon, and welcome to our beach brunch.
I love it here. I've been single for now 3 years. I love it.
Oh, I didn't know you was single for that long.
I know, my God.
Look, it's hard to believe.
It's hard. You so handsome. Everybody trying to holler at you.
I love it
When
here.
you're trying to get
How's the dating life though?
Dating is great. It's a bit challenging, but I feel like once you learn how to navigate the narrative and what you really want out of your situationships, it becomes a lot easier.
Situationship.
Yeah, your situationships. I mean, I'm not in a relationship. I am single 1,000%. But, I'm dating.
You said some challenges. Like, what kind of challenges?
Yeah.
As far as just communication, you know what I'm saying, and just different things that you value in life.
Figuring out what you want from them, what they want from you.
Right. And that's what kind of leads me into like having open dialogue with my partners about just reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? Just us being able to come to some type of mutual playground to where we can satisfy each other without one feeling less than the other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So define reciprocity.
Yeah.
Like, what do you look for when you say reciprocity?
Okay, so in my there's 3 types of reciprocity.
Oh,
You already got it packed out.
Yeah. So you got generalized reciprocity, you have balanced reciprocity, and you have negative reciprocity.
Okay.
Generalized reciprocity is pretty much when I'm doing something for you unconsciously because I want to without expecting anything in return.
This is I'm a giving person. Because there's givers and takers, but I'm a giving person, so I'm okay. All right.
Balanced reciprocity is when we're giving to one another. Like I'm giving to you, you loving me how I love you.
Okay.
But unsubconsciously.
Self-conscious.
Just two good matches where y'all just get each other. Nobody trying to take from nobody else. Okay.
Right. And I'm not doing it just because you're doing it.
Absolutely.
So I take it the other one is negative. So that's what Carl typically does in his relationships.
See, negative reciprocity.
Give me your check.
Right. Negative reciprocity is one person doing more for a person that's expecting more to gain out of the situation.
Okay.
That's me. I'm always
now I would envision that's happening a lot.
Absolutely.
What are you finding?
For me, the type of people that I date now, it's more of a balanced reciprocity. Like I've never wanted to be in a relationship where I just want to just take. I enjoy giving. That makes me feel good as a person, as a human, as a man, as a partner, as a companion.
Right.
I want to give. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody just to take care of me. I'm flattered. Thank you. But, I'm a hardworking man.
But do you think that comes with gender roles too? Because do you find that it's when you have certain people that feel like they're in a gender role? Because I tell you from me, I feel like women do feel reciprocity shouldn't always be, or it's been conditional that it should be coming from a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got to take care of your woman. I mean, it's old thought processes, but is it the same thing in the community?
In our community, no, because typically in our community we split everything. We split bills like
roommates.
Yeah. I'm a man. You're a man. We're gonna live this thing out together.
Because you're not necessarily conditioned to that type of experience.
Right. Okay.
I think women are, women in or heterosexual relationships. It's the norm. Like it's the
like you want a man to take care of the household, and that's his.
Right. It's just more traditional in that, right? But when you're kind of in other different experiences, it's a little different because you're not conditioned to that, right? It's good. Right, if you were to meet somebody that's like, I can get all the bills, I can do this, I can do that.
Do you know if you have women that are like same-sex women friends? Do they find the same thing in the women?
Women are just women, because I do have female lesbian friends where they feel like still they are a woman and they still feel like their mate should still pay for everything.
But how do you do that in a woman-to-woman relationship then? You know what I mean?
That's the way women, that's what brings us to this woman versus men thing, because men and women are just really programmed differently when it comes to stuff like that. And
you kind of know you're going to have to take care of yourself and somebody.
That's the reason why I don't like women like that.
You is such a woman basher.
Every
time It's bashing
So
women.
Well, listen, I'll say this.
Don't even be bashing
Thank
women.
my mama. Thank my mama. And I thank my mama too, because my mom is a very hardworking woman. She's very independent. She's never taught me to take care of women. You know, she taught me how to take care of myself first.
Right.
And then what comes along with that is learning how to take care of my mate, whether it's man or woman.
Was your mother a single parent?
She was. My
Okay.
father died when I was fairly young. So, you know, all I know is my mama working and doing what she had to do.
And that's what most men know, period, in the community, because women are having to take care of. So she ain't going to teach you to take care of no woman because nobody took care of her.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I get it.
So when I hear women, you know, kind of like ride the wave of, you know, men taking care of them, it just really puts me in a real strange position, because I'm just like, you know, the type of woman I came from, I was, you know, taught to be that I'm the prize too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama never taught me that, you know, a woman is above or, you know, over me. She never taught me to disrespect women.
Right.
I love women. I'm very respectful when it comes to that. But, you know, as far as...
I think it just stems from something else. What are you going to say?
I was going to ask you, actually. Like, so when you think about the 3 levels of it, like, which one do you find the healthiest in your relationships, past and present?
Yeah. I think I have typically been the general where there's one person that feels like I'm the giver. But then I've had to evaluate the relationships I'm in because I'm a high income earner. I typically find myself being the giver.
Sister, she got that chick.
I mean, that it is what it is.
Do you
So
find
when
your partners to be more, are they like equally as given, or do you find them to be kind of
like
like...
Tamara,
it
sugar mama.
depends. It
Sugar
depends.
mama,
There have
mama.
been partners that will give in different ways. You know what I mean?
You a sugar mama?
I have been when I'm
Give me a
looking
little
for.
coin.
Yes, you know I love you, so I'm gonna give
check. You
you
can write me a check. Y'all heard this. She write me a check after this.
Sugar mama.
So in that way, I am a giver. You know what I mean? So, but I'm looking to give because I want to benefit you. That in the long run, it benefits me. Like if I'm deciding to date you, it ain't like I'm just gonna take care of you the rest of your life.
Right.
I want to help you
You're
get to where
definitely
you want to
bringing
be.
some type of value to my life.
Then it's
keep you
the
around.
risk. Then I think we move. And my thought is that we're gonna move to that space where it's reciprocal. And now you helping me in a way, I'm helping you in a way. We just can't always make it reciprocal financially.
Right.
And that's what we tend to do.
I say in our communities, it's from time to time, it's kind of, we kind of get it messed up because sometimes we take, you know, physical reciprocity versus financial, and it just gets kind of
define
sticky.
that. Tell me what you mean.
You know, okay.
Because I'm
you
digging
look
you down.
good, but you're right.
Oh, okay.
You look
well,
good,
that
and
ain't
I'm
different
digging
in
you
our
down.
community.
Sometimes
either
you make an
because-
exception.
But I'm paying you.
Right, you make an exception.
Right.
Well, that
Right.
ain't nothing new because women around here look good and they want men to pay for that. So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
In your community, I know y'all be trying to be fine all the time.
I mean,
I
but
mean,
you have no
that's
choice
just
In
but
for
now.
shape,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And so for that, you still want. So you still men want and like what they see.
Right.
They driven by that.
Yeah.
So they gonna want somebody to look good and think they gonna pay for it too, right?
Well, I mean, listen, the older I get, the more experience that I get when it comes to the dating world, I would rather be the second one, right? So where we do it both for each other, right? It's balanced. And there is no, well, I'm doing it because you're doing it and vice versa. We're doing it because we both love each other.
Because I want somebody to do
Right.
something for me
And
because
they genuinely want to do it,
Yeah.
right? And so I think for me, just that's how I look at just life in general, it being just balanced, right?
But here's
Equal.
the other thing we got to see the value
And it's
in.
comfortable.
That's different because now roles are changing.
It is.
Period. Gender roles are changing. Expectation of who stays at home, who takes care of a family, if we're going to have a family. So when you talk about reciprocity, you kind of have to start defining what that means within your relationship.
True.
Because now that becomes important. Because what used to be the norm, like a man gonna take care of a woman because she stay at home and take care of the kids. Now there are women working, and he might be doing a reverse role. And so now, how do we define that to create reciprocity?
But you know what? Shout out to you for just being a working woman. And
Just
you know,
open-minded, you know, I'm a black woman.
that
We
you
don't
can
want no
take care of
broke
your
man.
Of
You know what I
course,
mean?
Of course,
That's
but
the
at
first
the same
thing.
time, it's just like, you know that you carry the bills.
Yeah.
You know you can foot the bills.
Now, don't think I be getting with him sometimes too. Now, when I'm like, look, you gonna have to bring this check in and help your part because ain't nobody
but
trying
imagine
to be
how many
used.
people don't do that, right? Imagine how many people don't. Because sometimes when you start a relationship, it's the first one, like you said, right? It's that general.
General.
But then as a relationship evolves, you want it to get to a more balanced state. Imagine how many people in relationships don't even hold their partner accountable to move it into a balanced space.
So what happens now? That becomes the next question. What happens when you realize you're in a relationship and you thinking it's reciprocal, and then you find that this person is constantly wanting more of a percentage than you're willing to give?
Eventually you have to grow some balls. You have to
What you gotta do?
Grow some balls.
Okay.
You have to grow some balls. You got to wake up. You got to understand and realize what's going on, and understand. Most importantly, you need to know your worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Know your worth.
Right. And know what you're bringing to the table.
Right. This ain't got nothing to do with that individual, because sometimes those people are just who they are.
Yeah. But
sometimes
what's the
you have to be a
trigger?
little selfish.
You do.
Okay. No. So give me a little bit of information, because I was about to say, what's the triggers to where you feel like and realize, okay, is this my worth, or am I trying to help them? At what point do you differentiate and say, this person using me?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good example, a life example.
Okay.
I was once dating someone. They moved to the state, like they moved to Atlanta, right, from out of state. But I said, hey, move in, we'll figure things out. You got to get a job.
You let them move with you.
Right. Oh. So I was like, I'll continue. It's my mortgage. I'm going to continue to pay. I just need you to get on your feet, da-da-da. Well, that turned into, 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, and then a year. And I'm like,
they weren't paying you at all at that point?
And then I'm like, okay, we got a
How
problem
long did what was the original agreement? Like 30 days?
Well, I don't think we put necessarily a date range on it. It was just, we were dating.
Oh.
We were in a relationship.
So that's what it was. The D didn't.
No. We didn't put a date. But here's the thing. I don't believe in necessarily putting a date on it. Well, I don't think putting a date on, like, saying you got to pay bills in 30 days.
As a grown up, regardless,
as a grown up, you should
know.
But the other person
nowhere for free.
Exactly.
Unless
but you should know that
the
though. Right? And at some point, you should say, I need to start contributing to this household. I need to start figuring something. I'm working. I'm saving money. I should start contributing to this household. And it wasn't until...
But as the house owner, you should have put that on the table from the jump.
We did.
You wouldn't even have to have no...
But we talked about that from the beginning. But the thing, the agreement was for you to come, get on your feet, and then begin to do things.
But the beat got good and you just got
No, it didn't get good.
It been good.
It didn't get good.
It been good. That's how you got
It didn't get good.
Did it get
It was
good?
already there.
Was it bad then when you realized he wasn't taking care of his bills?
Yeah.
That flipped me.
It flipped it in. It flipped it in. And then I began to start saying, hey, Suge, you got a check for me?
Right.
The first is coming and the mortgage due.
So by this being a partner of yours, how did you manage to navigate that conversation? Because, when you're talking about finances and money and then you're in a relationship, it gets real sticky. Like, that's probably one of the most uncomfortable topics I like talking about in a relationship is money. Especially when it's somebody you land with.
Yeah.
So how did you navigate, like, hey, you're not pulling your weight?
Well, I didn't get there first. I didn't say that, right?
Okay.
It was, hey, do you have extra money this month? Hey, this bill is due. How much do you have towards that?
Was he working?
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
It's like,
I'm not. I mean,
damn,
he
what
was paying
doing?
something. Like, there are bills that you take care of in the household.
The dig bill. That's the only thing he was
But
playing right now.
however,
He was a homosexual.
there are more. Listen, okay.
This job word. He was a homosexual.
But there were things that he necessarily wasn't doing. The more important bills, right? We talk about, somebody paying a cable bill versus paying half of the mortgage.
But what was
That's
the
a little
transition for you?
Well, we had other issues, right?
Okay.
We had some other issues.
Like, if you paying your mortgage is your mortgage regardless.
Yeah,
so
regardless.
You gotta pay that regardless.
And I was fine with that, right?
But utilities.
But when you think about, other bills going up, because now there are two people here.
Got it.
The lights are always on, whatever, right?
Okay.
So I got into, instead of saying you're not contributing, right? More of my comment was, hey, do you have this extra this month? Can you do this?
Were you kind of timid asking?
Were they working though?
Yeah.
Were they working? Okay.
So, and it took some time to get a job, right? You think about it. This person stopped their whole livelihood
to be here with you.
To be here with me. So I can be understanding to some things. I can understand that you're not going to get a job within 2 weeks.
So
I can understand that it's going to take you some time to get...
$1 million question. How long did he lay up under you before you decided to say something?
If I'm being honest and I hold myself accountable, it was like a year.
Is that too long?
Yeah.
Is that too long?
But I don't think that's too long because when you think about it, a year flies by.
It does, but
it
I don't even...
Was it a pandemic year?
No.
Well,
this is well before then. This is well before
then.
That's
on you.
And here's the thing. I own that.
But that's
I own that, right? But it was a learning lesson for me to say, the next time I'm in a situation like that, I got to set different boundaries.
Absolutely.
I got to have different expectations.
Absolutely.
And I can't allow somebody to take advantage of me when I know that they are.
Right.
I think it's the timing that it seems like you brought that question out. Like, how long was it? I mean, there's a point in time where we are going to be in a coma from a relationship.
You're right. You're
steady
and you're going through it.
We all been in
We
comas.
all have. No. It may not be financially, but it's something.
Will get you in a coma. Your head will get you in a coma.
Right.
Your genitals will get
you
you
love
in a coma.
somebody, you're willing to do anything for them, right?
Yeah.
And that's me kind of at the first one.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, I think there's a lot of different relationships. I think what we boil it down to is reciprocity means, what does it mean for you in your relationship? And if you feel like you're not getting an equal balance, then you got to determine, how do I set boundaries and for how long
and
to get to that place.
And sticking to it, you got to stick to it.
And because
and know your worth.
100%.
Yeah, know your worth.
Guys, we hope you enjoyed this conversation. Be sure to take it back to your peach brunch until we see you again.